Alright, let's talk about one of my favorite parts of late game Clash of Clans, pets. Once you start pushing higher town hall levels, the game really opens up. New defenses, new troops, stronger heroes, and then Supercell goes, hey, what if your heroes also had little battle buddies? And honestly, that's where things get really interesting. These pets aren't just cute extras, each one brings a specific mechanic that can completely change how a hero performs in an attack. Now here's the tricky part, upgrading pets is expensive and slow, and nobody wants to waste resources on something that barely helps. That's exactly why this video exists. We're going to rank all Clash of Clans pets from the most impactful to the ones you can safely ignore for now, and I'll also break down the best hero pet pairings so you know who works best with who. If you want maximum value from your upgrades and stronger, more consistent attacks, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking pets in Clash of Clans. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Poison Lizard and LASSI. Some pets sound scary on paper, but once they hit the battlefield, you realize they are more mild inconvenience than absolute menace. And that is exactly where our C tier story kicks off. Poison Lizard follows your hero around, spits poison at whatever the hero is targeting, slows enemies down, and can even damage buildings, which sounds great until you actually rely on it. The poison and slow are there, sure, but the impact feels polite. It helps a little, annoys enemies a little, and then quietly reminds you why it lives in C tier. It is not useless, but it is definitely not the pet that makes you say, wow, that changed the whole attack. Then we have Lassie, the brave little ground pet with dreams bigger than its actual impact. Lassie can jump over walls and attack targets within 2.5 meters of the hero, dealing 260 damage at level 10, which is the maximum level unlocked at Town Hall 14. That sounds impressive until you remember it is still a ground unit, and its special ability just does not compete with stronger pets at higher levels. Watching Lassie leap over walls is fun, almost adorable, but in serious attacks you quickly feel that is it moment. Solid effort, lots of heart, but compared to other pets, Lassie just cannot keep up, and that is why it comfortably sits in C tier without much argument. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Mighty Yak. Sometimes a pet feels less like a superstar and more like a very specific tool you pull out of the toolbox only when the situation demands it, and that is basically the Mighty Yak in a nutshell. As a ground pet, it does average damage, but where it really shines is durability, sitting at a chunky 5,550 health at level 10, which is no joke. Add its wall-breaking ability into the mix and suddenly it makes sense why the Barbarian King loves this thing so much, especially since he cannot jump over walls on his own. Pairing the Mighty Yak with tanky heroes who need help opening paths can feel genuinely useful, but slap it onto other heroes and the magic kind of disappears. It is not bad, it just knows exactly what it wants to do, and if you do not play to that strength, it quietly reminds you why it lives in B tier. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Unicorn, Angry Jelly, and Electro Owl. This is the tier where pets stop being nice to have and start feeling like real partners in crime, and Unicorn is a perfect example of that shift. It works like a healer, but do not expect miracles in raw healing power or durability because at level 10 its healing and health are clearly lower than a regular healer. The big twist though is that Unicorn can heal its linked hero whether they are on the ground or flying through the air, something the healer simply cannot do. That flexibility alone makes it incredibly valuable at Town Hall 14. Sure, its low health means Expos, Mortars, and other defenses can swat it down pretty fast if you are careless. But when protected well, Unicorn earns its A tier badge without much debate. Now let's talk about Chaos, because Angry Jelly absolutely brings it. With this pet by your side, your hero can lock onto defensive buildings and focus them down before anything else, which already feels strong. But the real star of the show is its Brainwash ability. While Brainwash is active, Angry Jelly becomes immortal, staying on the battlefield even if your hero goes down, and casually triggering and damaging both ground and air mines along the way. Watching it float around, completely ignoring death and still causing problems is both hilarious and incredibly useful. It is one of those pets that feels unfair in the best possible way. And then there is Electro Owl, the quiet multitasker that never stops working. This pet can attack both air and ground targets, hit 2 units at the same time, and do it all from 6 tiles away like it is keeping a safe distance from the drama. On top of that, it deals a steady 145 damage per second to both targets, which adds up fast during an attack. The only real downside is that it is strictly a Town Hall 14 pet, so not everyone gets to enjoy it. But if you are at that level, Electro Owl is one of those picks that just feels consistently good, and that reliability is exactly why it sits comfortably in A tier. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Diggy, Frosty, and Phoenix. This is the point in the tier list where things stop being polite and start being absolutely unfair, and Diggy is a huge reason why. Diggy goes after whatever structure or ground unit your hero is currently obsessed with, and if that target happens to be a cannon or another defensive building, Diggy happily stuns it into submission. With a massive 5,000 health points, it can take a beating and keep going, which already makes it scary. But the real, excuse me, what moment comes when its hero dies. Diggy does not panic, does not disappear, it just casually switches heroes and keeps fighting. That flexibility alone makes it one of the most clutch pets in the entire game. Then there is Frosty, the pet that turns enemy defenses into sleepy, confused blocks of ice. Frosty slows down defensive towers and buildings that are locked onto your hero, buying precious seconds where everything feels under control. When fully upgraded, it can drop up to 10 Frostmites, which are tiny ice creatures that freeze structures and make defenses miserable. On top of that, Frosty also attacks both ground and air units with its icy breath, dealing 150 damage per second. It is constant pressure, constant slowdown, and constant value, which is why once you use Frosty, it feels very wrong to take it out of your lineup. And finally, we have Phoenix, the pet that straight up refuses to let your hero die quietly. Its unique ability revives the hero for a short window of up to 8 seconds, and in fast-paced attacks, that moment alone can completely flip the outcome. Those extra seconds often mean one more ability, one more defense destroyed, or one more path open for the rest of the army. After hatching from its egg and transforming into a phoenix, it also fights alongside the revived hero, adding even more damage into the chaos. It is dramatic, powerful, and ridiculously clutch, which is exactly why Phoenix does not just belong in S tier, it defines it. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Spirit, Fox, and Sneezy. Now we are officially past Overpowered and deep into why is this even allowed territory. Because Spirit Fox is not just strong, it completely bends the rules of Clash of Clans. Its invisibility, passive hides both itself and the linked hero for up to 4 seconds, and during that window they cannot be touched by any direct or indirect damage at all. Cannons, traps, splash damage, none of it matters. Just when defenses think they can breathe again, the ability recharges every 6 seconds and casually does it all over again. The amount of control this gives you over pacing, timing, and hero survival is honestly absurd, and once you play with Spirit Fox, every other pet suddenly feels very mortal. What makes Spirit Fox truly disgusting is how it changes decision making mid-attack. You are no longer reacting to defenses, you are scheduling their suffering. 4 seconds of safety on a loop means heroes can walk through danger zones, tank impossible areas, or line up abilities with zero fear. It does not need flashy damage numbers or fancy animations because raw invulnerability on demand is already game-breaking. This pet does not support your hero, it upgrades your hero into something defenses were never designed to handle. And then there is Sneezy, the late game menace that unlocks at Town Hall 17 and politely asks for all your dark elixir in exchange for pure chaos. On the surface, it spawns 2 boogers every 10 seconds to help clear buildings, which is already solid value. But that is just the warm-up. Sneezy's real personality comes out when its hero dies, because that is when it goes absolutely feral. It enters an enraged state for 30 seconds, smashing defenses and troops with slightly higher damage than its usual 400, all while sitting on a beefy 4,650 hit points. Even in its enrage mode, Sneezy keeps spawning boogers, turning the battlefield into a non-stop mess of pressure and destruction. It might pause its own attacks briefly here and there, but the damage never really stops, and that lingering presence makes it terrifying in late game attacks. Between Spirit Fox making heroes untouchable and Sneezy refusing to calm down after its hero falls, S+ tier feels less like a ranking and more like a warning label. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.